Hello friend, welcome back. In this video, I want to start another new section that will be for the Express.js fundamental. If you don't have much idea about that Express.js, make that sure you complete this fundamental series. In particular, this fundamental series, I will try to cover almost all basic functionality that will be needed for the Express.js. I hope that will help you a lot. So first of all, what is Express.js? That is a framework of Node.js. You can tell it as this is server-side web framework for Node. Express.js is used to develop server-side REST API for mobile, desktop, web application and IoT devices. And you can also using template engine with Express, you can develop complete website for web application too. So for the server side, you can use that Express.js, and also for the front-end side, you can use that React, Vue, Angular with Express to develop complete website or web application. So in particular, this section, I want to discuss about all that Express.js fundamental, all that methods and function, Express REST API development, working with the template engine and Express together, and working with React and Express together. So that will be very helpful if you are a beginner. So make that sure you complete this fundamental series. And also for start this section, some of the tools you may need. Like here, make that sure you install that Node.js in your system. Before, I have already discussed about that things with you. Simply go to that nodejs.org. So from here, that is actually recommended version. That is a current version. So make that sure when you click it, that will be install one of the simple exe file, and then simply install it in your system. That will be very easy. One of the software, simply install it next by next, then install it in your system. And when you install that Node.js, if you want to also check it, you can also check it. Simply go to that your command prompt. Okay, here if you open your command prompt, and into this command prompt, if you write down as a node and then the version, so when it successfully install in your system, you will get this type of one of the version. So right now I'm using that node version as an 18.16.0, but right now it's current as a 20.9.0. It's totally fine. You can, that is a recommended for the most user. So for current, that is the version is running, you can also download it. So when you install it successfully, you will get this type of one of the version. Okay, so when it will be displayed this version, that means the Node.js is successfully installed. And also one of the editor will be needed. You can use that PHP Storm, you can use that Web Storm, or rather than for the free, that will be as a Visual Studio Code editor. So for particular this section, I want to use that Visual Studio Code editor. Okay, simply that is totally free. Go to that Google, download it and install it. Before, I have already discussed about that things with you. Make that sure you download and install it. Okay, so that is our editor will be needed, and also another software will be needed, that will be as a Postman. If you go to that Google, and here if you search it with the Postman download, you will get this type of one of the URL as a download Postman. Simply go there, and from here it depends on you what type of system you are using. So right now I'm using that Windows 64-bit. It's automatically supported for the Windows 64-bit. So here simply download it and install it in your system. That is also very simple one of the software. So make that sure you download it. So Postman will be needed for check all that our REST API. So here into the Postman area, we will check all that our API. So make that sure simply download it literally step by step. When I will use it, then everything will be more clear to you. So if everything okay, now we are ready to start our Express.js fundamental journey. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I have discussed about what is Express.js, and also some of the tools will be needed. So make that sure you download it. There is a Node.js and also the Postman. Okay, right now it's fine. So now friend, in this video, I want to create one of the Express.js project. Let's do that work. For doing this, I want to go to our project exercise file. As I told you, after end of this course, I will share this file with you. That is one of the exercise file. So in particular, this project, whatever the things I will do, I will share everything from here. Okay, now if you go to that Express.js fundamental, I have already created one of the new folder as Express.js fundamental. So now in particular this folder here, I want to create on the new folder. Okay, better I want to create on the new folder, and I just name that folder as a Express app 1. Okay, I name it as Express app 1. Great. Now in particular this folder area, here I want to create one of the new Express.js project. So here if you want to create one of the Express.js project, first of all we have to create one of the package JSON. So if you want to create this package JSON, in particular this folder, I want to open the CMD, and that is our appropriate file location. Right, so that is in our exercise file. Here I have created one of the folder as a Express.js fundamental, and here I have created our new folder as a Express app 1. So here first of all we have to create one of the package JSON. So better I want to name it, that will be as npm and then the init, and then that will be as a es. Now if you click as the enter, now that will be created one of the package JSON. Here you can see that is package JSON is successfully created, and that is all the things is successfully updated. This type of one of the package.json that will be generated. Okay friend, I hope it's very clear to you. So now I want to create one of the Express.js projects. So if you want to create it, simply go to that Google. If you go to that Express.js official website as Express.js, here you can also get some of the references from here. Simply go to that expressjs.com, and from here if you go to that getting started, and from here you can see that is actually our command. So first of all I have already run as a npm init for create our package JSON, and now I want to install it. So here if you want to install it, we have to run as a npm install express. Okay, so I want to simply copy it, and now I want to do in particular this folder, that means in our same folder, right here, that is our express one. So that is our express one. Here in particular this folder I want to install it by the npm install and then the express. And you can also save all the dependency. Here I want to also make it as a save. Okay, that will be as a save, that means that will be as a npm install express and then double hyphen as a save. Now if you click as a enter, now that will be downloaded everything from to the internet, and it will be install that Express.js project in particular this area. You can see it's now successfully downloaded everything from to our internet, and it's now created two of these things. One is our node module, one of the folder, and also it's created another one as a package log.json. So now better I want to take this folder in our editor, that means our Visual Studio Code editor area. I want to take it. Okay, I simply take in drag and drop. Here I simply take it. Great. And also I make it as yes, I trust it. Now perfect. So now that is actually they have the three file. Okay, here if you go to that package JSON, here you can see right now we are using that express, that is a dependency is visible as a express, and also right now we are using that version as a 4.18.2. So whatever the packages now we will install, in particular our Express.js area, all that our dependency one by one that will be included into the dependency area. Okay, great. So we successfully installed that Express.js. Now I want to simply configure it like here in our project. Okay, so into the project area I want to create another new file. Okay, if you go particular our folder, if you go to that our main folder area, here I want to create another new file. Here I want to create another new file, and I just name it as the index.js. Okay, now that this type of one of the file I have created as a JS file. So now we have to actually first of all configure our total application, that means Express.js application. So it's simply understand all that format, literally step by step everything I will show you with the live example. Like here I want to take one of the variable, and I just name it as express. Okay, here we have to now create one of the port for access that our Express.js project. So I take one of the variable as a express. Whatever the name actually you choose is totally fine. And now from here I want to require, that will be as a require, and require will be which one. Here I want to require our, that is the express. Okay, so now from here I want to simply access it. So that will be as a require as a express. So make that sure you take it, and here I require that express, I take the things with this variable. And now we have to create one of the app, that means application. I name that application as a express. Right here I simply call that our express, in particular that area. I hope friend it's very clear to you. So from here I get that our require our express, I take the things with this variable. Now I declare one of the application by the app, and here I call that our function. So now we have to also pass it. That means we have to create one of the listener. I make it as an app, and then that will be as a listen. Okay, that will be as a listen, and listen will be what type of import area you want to actually add, and you can see that is actually the listen. So that is our server listen will be our, first of all, that will be our port, and second one, that will be your number. So you can also use some of the callback function in particular that area. So right now I want to add that our port will be like as a 8000. Okay, here I want to do and to simply call that our port will be as 8000, and also here I want to create on the function. Okay, here I want to create on the callback function. I simply name it, that is a function. So into the functional area, when this port will be executed, I want to show some of the message into the console log. Into the console log area, I want to display it as a server. Okay, server run successfully. That means or success. Now this step on the message, then that will be displayed. Laterally also we have to configure with the MongoDB, and we have to connect our Express.js application with the MongoDB. I will also show you that things with you, don't worry. See, step by step, as I told you friend, every concept, everything will be very clear to you. Simply understand how I actually pass all the things. So here I created one of the listen, and here I passed that our port number as 8000. Here I created on the callback function. So into this callback function area, here I simply console log one of the message as a string message as a server run successfully. Okay, and now also we have to create one of the get method. I want to create one of the get method, so that will be the app and then the get, and I want to access that our home directory, so that will be our home directory as a slash, and here I want to pass that one of the function. Okay, sorry, function. So that will be as a function, and into this function that should be as a two of this parameter. One will be as a request, whatever the request you will get, so that will be as a request, and also another parameter will be as a response. Okay, here I simply pass both of this, and now I want to call that our callback function, so that is a function. So here from to our response, okay, from to this response, I want to call that one of the send method. It will be send some of the message. What type of message? I want to make it as a hello Express.js. Okay, Express.js. Now this step of one of the message I want to visible. So now I want to check it everything is working or not. I click as a save all, and here I want to open the terminal. There is a new terminal. There is a terminal is running. So in particular this terminal area, now I want to access that our index.js. So here if you want to check it, like I make it as a node, sorry, that will be as a node and index.js. So when you make it as index.js, now click as a enter, and you can see it's now successfully updated. That is a server run successfully. And do you want to allow public or private network to access this share? So right now I make it as a allow. Okay, I make it as a allow, and that is our node index, and you can see it successfully display our message. So that is the message I have already added in our console log area as a server run success. So now that is successfully displayed as a server run success. So now if you want to check it, our port is working or not, that is a 8000 port. If you now go to that our browser, and here I want to go to that our local host, and into this local host from by the clone, here our port number will be as a 8000. Now click as a enter. Yes, you can see now our hello Express.js is visible. That means here I have already passed it our home directory, so that is our home URL, and for the home URL it will be get, I call that is our get method. Get method, our first parameter will be as a URL. So here I pass that our home URL, then I call one of the callback function, and into this function area that should be as a two of this parameter. One will be as a request, another will be as a response, and now from to this response I call one of the method as a send method, and into this send method I pass one of the string value as a hello Express.js, and now you can see our port is running successful, and also our message is successfully visible. So I hope friend you get some of the idea how can create some of your fast Express.js project. Okay, here we successfully created our Express.js project, and also it's now running successfully. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, here we successfully created one of the Express.js project. How to create it, I hope it's very clear to you. Now in this video, I want to discuss about Express.js routing. So how can actually create different type of routing for in Express.js? Let's do that work. For doing this, simply go to that our project. Into this project, our node index.js is running. That means our server is now running. Right now, I want to close it. And here, before I have created one of the get method, and into this get method area, that is for our home. Okay, when that will be as a home, I simply pass one of the by the same method as a hello Express.js. So right now here, I want to create multiple one, like I create another one. Okay, so here that will be for the home directory, and for the home URL that should be displayed as a home page. Okay, I make it as a home page. And also I want to create another URL that will be another route as a about. Okay, for the about route, I want to display another name as a about page. Okay, about page. And also I want to create another one as a contact, and for the contact I want to display another message that will be as a contact page. Simply get all that fundamental things. Is step by step I will cover almost everything, and laterly everything will be needed in our advanced project. Okay, so make that sure you understand all that basic functionality. Right now that is our routing, that is our home routing, and that is our about routing, that is our contact routing. Right now if you click as a save all, and now if you want to access it, like that is for the home, that should be displayed as a home page. If you now go to that project, refresh it, here I simply want to run that our terminal again. Okay, I want to run the terminal, and here that is actually running, so better I close it, and now I want to close this server again. I want to close it, and again I want to run as a node and then index.js. Now click as a enter, server run successful, and now if you go refresh it, and now you can see it's now successfully updated as a home page. And now from here, if you want to access that or any other one, like here another one as a /about, here I copy it. Now that will be our another one. After that I want to use it as a /about, click as a enter. Here you can see now that is our another name is visible as a about page, or I have created another one as a contact. Now I want to copy it, and now here if you take it as a contact, click as a enter. Now you can see our contact page is successfully loaded. And here also you have to remember one things, like here I have already loaded multiple one, right? I have loaded multiple route in particular that area, and for every route I have used it as a get method. So only when you use it as a get method, that will be only executable in our browser. That means if you want to use some of the post method that will be not executed into the browser, then we have to check it into the postman. As I told you, that will be needed, so make that sure you download it. So now all that our request, we will actually check it by this postman, and into the postman here you can see they have the default all that method as a post method, put method, patch method, delete, head option. So they have the lot of functionality. Now I want to show you, then everything will be more clear to you. Like that is our home. I want to use it as a get, and for the about I want to update as a post method. Okay, and also for the contact here I want to update it as a delete method. Like show you what exactly the things that will be do. Like now if you click as a save all, and here again I want to close it, and I want to run another new terminal, our terminal running, and here I name it as a node and then the index.js. right now click as a enter, server running successful. And now if you go here, I want to access that our home page. If you go, you can see that is a home page is working successfully. As I told you, that will be only supported get method in our browser, but right now if you want to access it, our about, which I have already updated that method as a post method here. Now if you want to access it, like after that slash I want to access that about, now click as a enter, and you can see it's now that display as a cannot get that about. That means post method, put method, patch method, and also delete method, that will be not executable for the browser. So for the browser, only the get method will be executed, and that is the reason our home is executed. But you can actually check it. You can check this our URL into our postman. Like here I want to check it, like I copy it, and now I want to update it in here. So that will be as a localhost 8000, and here I have already created one of the route as a about, and that is I have already set it as a post method. Right here for the about, I have already set it as a post method, and now here if you click as a send, now you can see it's now successfully get that our view result as a about page. So that is the about page I have already added for the about. I hope you get the point. Only get method will be executed for the browser. If you want to access that post method, put method, delete method, every time we can actually handle everything with this postman. So that is the reasons that is a postman software will be needed. Okay, and also I have created another one as a /delete, that means delete contact. Now if you want to access it in our web route, then that will be not executed. You can see it's also display as a cannot get contact. But if you want to now access it as a contact, I want to check it in our postman, that will be port / and then the contact. Now click, that is here I have already set it, I have set it as a delete method. Right now I want to update it as a delete. Now click as a send request, and you can see it's now successfully display our view as a contact page. Okay friend, so now I hope you get some of the little idea about that Express.js routing. So into this routing area, you can use it as a get method, you can use it as a post method and delete method, but only for the browser get method will be display all the data, rather than for the post method, delete method, put method. Here we have to check everything in our postman, that will be not executed into the browser. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I have discussed about that Express.js routing. I hope you get some of the point how Express.js routing actually work. Now before going to more deep, I want to give you some of the suggestion. Always remember, if you want to increase your level to the high, they have the 4 topic that you should always focus. One is the request, response, middleware, and database operation. Like if you will understand all that requests, like in Express.js, how you can handle all that your requested to the server, and also how can get all that responses to the server, and also how can working with the middleware, with this middleware, how can manage your database, all that operation. So that is the main 4 key you should know. Trust me, for learning any kinds of new programming language, you should always focus on particular, that is the 4 things as a request, response, middleware, and database operation. That is the reasons, first of all, I want to focus on the request, response, middleware, and database operation for the Express.js. So from our next video, I want to start with the response. How can handle all that response in Express.js one by one. I will show you everything with the live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I have discussed about which 4 of these things you should focus. So now it started with the response. So into the response, they have also different type of part, like as a response body, response header, response status, and also the response cookies. So now one by one, I want to share all that Express.js response with the live example. So for doing this, here if you go to that our postman, into the postman area, I want to share that things with you. Here before I have already created one of the about as a /about, and that is one of the post method. Right now if you go, I want to also access that our about, and that is here I have already set it as a post method. And now from here, if you click as a send, and now you can see that is successfully get that our view as a about page. So into the response area, as I told you, they have the 4 different part. One is the response body, header, status, and cookies. So in particular, that area, that is actually the body. Okay, here you can see it's now successfully get that our body text, and that is also as HTML. So from here you can also able to get the JSON data, XML data, HTML data, text data, and auto. Okay, so by default that is our HTML. So from here, if you want to get some of the JSON data, you can also get it by the JSON. So that is actually our body part, and also after that, that is our header part. So into the header, by default they have the 7 key, is like as a powered by the content type, the content length, data, connection, keep alive. Okay, so that is all that are default header. So if you want to also change it, you can also change that our key, all that value. So that is all that our key, and that is our value. So simply understand they have also another response header. So into the response header, that is in particular that position. So by default they have the 7 response header, so that is a header part. And also there is after that there is another one as a response status. Response status, you will get it in here. You can see that is actually by default as a 200. 200 is when this is your status will be as a 200. That means it's successfully done. That means it's executed. It successfully get all the data. Okay, and if you get some of the issues, you may get that 404, you can get the 403. Okay, so then whatever the request you have actually sent it from here, then automatically your status will be updated. So they have the different type of status. If you go to that simple Google, and here if you search with the response status code, you will get multiple things. Like here if you go, and there is also another link as a developer Mozilla. If you go there, they have the different type of status code. You can see there is a 100 means that will be as a continue. For the success response, you can see there is a 200, that means as a okay, when it will be displayed as a 201 as a created that. And also when you get it as a 204, that will be as a no contain. Okay, so that will be not needed to remember everything, but simply initialize some of the status code you may also remember. Okay, like as a 400 means that it will be the bad request. The 401, that will be for the unauthorized. 402, that will be for the payment required. That is a 403, that is forbidden, and 404 as a not found. So most commonly we will get it as a 404, 403, and also 401, the 400. So this type of, that is actually the common all that our client response error. So you may also face it. Okay, so that is actually the all that response. That means response status code, and you will get all that your response status code in particular that position. And after that, there is another one as a response cookies. Here you can see there is also another option for the cookies. Some of the time you may also pass some of the data in your response area. So all that your response cookies you will get in particular this cookies functionality. Okay, I hope you get some of the idea what exactly that response body, where you can get that response cookies, header, and that is our status. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In this video, I want to discuss about all that Express.js response. So they have the different type of response. Now one by one, I want to share everything with the live example. So make that sure you understand and remember all the responses that will be needed multiple times. Okay, so now let's start it with how can create some of the simple string response. So before I have already created some of the method as a get method, post method, right now I want to select one. So like right now there is the get method. Here I want to use one of the URL that will be for the one, and also that will be function. This function pass two of this parameter. Before I have already discussed about that things with you. One will be as a request, another will be as a response. Now with this response here, I simply call one of the method as a send method, and by this send you can actually pass some of the string message. Okay, sorry, that will be just like that same. Here now I want to pass one of the string message as a this is simple string response. Okay, this type of one of the message I want to pass it. And also I want to take another one for the post method. You can also pass it into the get method area. You can also pass it into the post method area. So into the post area, if you want to pass some of the simple string response, like here I name as a 2, and for the 2 I want to make it as this. This is okay. This is post simple string response. Okay, now this type of one of the message, then that will be display. So right now I want to check both of these. Here if you click as a save all, okay, I simply click as a save all, and also we have to run our server again. Like here right now that is our before one. I want to remove it, and now I want to create another new one that will be as a node and then index.js. Right now click as a enter. Our server runs successfully, and now if you go to that our page here, if you click as a enter, yes, perfect. So now the server is updated. So here now we have to check it. We have to check it into the postman. I want to go to that our postman, and here I name it as a /1. That will be one of the get method. I want to check it, so that will be our server, and then that will be as a /1, and I want to update as a get method. Now click as a send, and yes, you can see it's now successfully display our string response message as a this is simple string response. Okay, and our status also updated as a 200. If you want to check that our second one, that will be as a 2, and that is on the post method. Here I want to also check it. Here if you go, now that will be as a 2, and here that is not that get method. Here I select it as a post method. Now click as a send. Now that should be get it. Yes, you can see it's now successfully get it as a this is post simple string response. Okay, so how can deal with some of the simple string response? I hope friend it's very much clear to you. And also here, if you don't want to pass that as a send method, they have also another method which you will get it from to the response as a and method. Okay, here if you make it as a and, then that will be also executed. Like here, if you now click as a save all, okay, click as a save all, and now if you go, like right now to go to that postman, I want to access that our one again, and I want to make it as a get method. Okay, I make it as a get method, and also better I want to do here something. If you change it in particular that position, like I make it as a for irrigation purpose, I make it as a end. Okay, that is the end. Now if you click as a save all, and also you have to close that our server. I want to kill this server. I want to run it again, terminal run again, and node then dot index.js. okay, so index.js. So make that sure when you change anything, also you have to kill that our server, and again we have to establish our connection. Okay, so now node index is successfully updated, and now if you go, and now that is for the one as a get method. Now click as a send. Here you can see it's now successfully updated. Now that is display as a this is simple and string response. Okay, here I have already added one of the text as a and now that is successfully updated. So they have the two things. You can also use it as a send method. You can also use it as a and method. So they have some of the little different between both of these. Send method actually work for the response all your body, and also another one as a and method. And method is response your ending point. Okay, so but both of these will be executed fine. Also you can use that and method for the post. Okay friends, so that is the simple string response. So if you want to pass some of the string response in Express.js, now I hope it's very clear to you. So next video I want to discuss about response status code. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I have discussed about how can handle that simple string response in Express.js. I hope it's very clear to you. So now friend, in this video, I want to manipulate our status code. That means before I have already discussed about that things with you here. When you get some of the appropriate data, then automatically that is our status code, right? So that is our 200 is for okay, 404 that means for the page not found, right? So this different type of status code before I have already displayed that things with. If you search in Google with the response status code, then you will get multiple different type of status, right? So here now I want to manipulate that status. That means from to this our backend, I want to simply send some of the status code. You can also able to do this job. Like in that case, I want to better take another one. I take another route. Okay, so that will be our another route here. That is our get method. That is our URL right now I want to use it as a 3. That will be as a 3, and then that will be one of the function here, that is a request and response. Right now I'm discussing about all the things with the response, right? Laterly I will also discuss about that request. So now with this response, okay, here before I have already passed as a and method, rather than you can also use it as a send method, right? So now in particular that area here I want to do, from to the response I want to manipulate our status, right? So here there is also another default method as a status method. status method, I simply want to call that status method. And into this method area here, you have to pass what type of response you want to pass. Like here I want to pass it as a 401, and 401 normally used for the unauthorized. Like right now I want to pass it from here, and also after that here you have to call your AND method. So into this AND area, what type of things you want to visible. If you want to make it as a empty, it's totally fine. Rather than if you also want to pass some of the string value here, you can also pass it. Like I want to make it as a you don't have any permission. Now this type of one of the message, then that will be displayed. So our status code will be updated as a right now as a 401, and also that will be display this message. Let's check this out. If you now click as a save all, I want to again update that our terminal. Here that is our current terminal. I want to close it, and now again I want to run as a node and then index.js. Now click as a enter, server running successful. Now I want to access that our URL, that will be as a 3. Here I want to go there, and now that will be as a 3, and here I have also make it as a get method. Now that is by default status as a 200. Let's check this out. Now click as a send. Yes, you can see it's now successfully display our message as a you don't have any permission, and also status code is updated as a 401 and unauthorized. Okay, so how can manipulate your status code? I hope it's very clear to you. So if you also want to change it, like here I want to make it as a 201, that will be our status code. I want to pass it as a 201, and into the AND area right now I don't want to pass any message. Okay, here I make it as a empty. So that is our the AND method. Okay, now if you click as a save all, again we have to close it. Okay, I want to close it. I want to run that new terminal, that will be as a node and then index.js. Okay, now click as a enter, server running successful. Again I want to hit it. I want to hit that as 3. Now click as a send. You can see they have the no message in our body area, and also our status is successfully updated as a 201. Okay friend, so how can handle your status from to the or your backend? I hope it's very clear to you. So that is all that our fundamental things. Okay, make that sure you understand and remember all that fundamental things. Laterly I will apply all that functionality in our advanced project. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I have discussed about how can handle that response status code, right? So now friend, in this video, I want to discuss about how can handle JSON response. Let's do that work. For doing this, I want to take another get method. Better I copy it, and here I paste it. So that is our another route, and better I also want to put some of the note for you. That will be for the response. Okay, response status code. Okay, now I want to create another new route, and that will be for the JSON response. That will be the JSON response. Great. So now friend, into the JSON response area here, first of all I want to update that our route. I name that as a 4. Okay, that will be as a 4. That will be our URL as a 4, and that is our function. Everything will be same here. Now only we have to do, we have to change it. Okay, here into the from to the response. If you want to get some of the JSON response data here, there is also another method as a JSON method. Okay, you have to call that JSON method. So here I simply call this JSON method. Okay, better I close it. So that is our JSON method. So here into the JSON area, if you want to pass some of the JSON array data, you can also able to pass it. Like for now, I want to create another new JSON array. Okay, here after that, I want to take on the variable, and I just name it as a my JSON. Okay, I name it as my JSON array. Okay, now this type of the variable I simply take, and here that is our array. So into this array area, you can actually pass multiple object data. So right now I want to pass one object. Like here I name it our object property name as a name, and name I name it as a Aryan. Okay, that will be as a Aryan, and also I want to take another property as a city, and for the city I want to put another string value as a Dhaka. Okay, Dhaka. Great. And also if you want to add another object, you can also add this another object, but I copy it and here I paste it, and also I paste it. The multiple array data, that means object data, you can actually pass it from here. I take another one as a Raju, and here I name that city as a USA, and then I want to take another one as a Johnny. I want to make it as India. Okay, India. Great. So here I have created one of the JSON data. So that is a my JSON array. I name it, and here that is our JSON array area. I created multiple object data. So that is one object data, another object data. That is also another one as a Johnny. So now we have to pass our, that is the JSON array data. I simply copy it, and now in our JSON method area here, we have to call it. Okay, here I simply call that our name, array name as a my JSON array. So now let's check this out. I want to access that our 4. Now if you click as a save all, I want to run that our terminal. There's a new terminal as a node and then index.js, right? Now click as a enter, server running successful. Now that will be on the get method, URL will be as a 4. I copy it, and now if you go to that our postman, here I want to update as a 4. That is on the get method. Now click as a send. Yes, you can see it's now successfully get all that our object data. So that is actually Aryan Dhaka, and that is also another object data, and that is also another object data. Okay friends, so and also you can see our status is updated as a 200. That means everything is okay. So how to handle the JSON data is very important, because multiple time we have to actually pass all that our JSON object data, right? So how can handle with the JSON response? I hope it's very much clear to you. And also here, if you go check that our object data, and you can see it's automatically by default selected as a JSON. That means it's automatically get it as a JSON format. So next video I want to discuss about another response as a response download. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I have discussed about how can handle that response JSON data. Now friend, in this video, I want to discuss about that response for download. That means if you want to download some of the file, how can handle it in Express.js. Now I want to show you that things with a live example. So for doing this better, I want to create on the new route. Okay, here I copy it like after that. After that, I want to simply create on the new route, and here that will be for the response download. Okay, here I also want to put some of the note for you. That will be as a download. And for the download, first of all, that will be our route name, and here I name that our route URL. I name it as a 5. Okay, that will be as a 5. So into the 5 area, then that will be the same, all that functionality. Now from to the response, I want to call another default method as a download method. I want to call it as a download. Okay, so that is a download method. So into this download method area here, you have to allocate one of the file path. That means when you click as a download, what type of file that will be downloaded. This type of one of the things I want to display in our browser. Okay, that means here I will check it into the browser, and also I will check it in our postman. So for doing this better, I want to go to that our project. That is our project. I have already taken one of the about.jpg. So now in particular this folder project area, I want to create on the new folder, and just now for education purpose I want to use one of the folder name as a uploads, and now into this uploads folder I want to take it our about.jpg. Okay, so that is one of the images. Now I want to download it. So if you want to download it, let's do that work. For doing this, here we have to allocate our file path. Okay, so we have to allocate that file path. So path, if you want to access it, we have to access it for first of all, that will be as a dot and then slash, and you can see it's automatically get that our folder name as a uploads folder, and into this uploads folder I have already added one of the image as a about.jpg. Okay, here only now we have to add it. So rest of our end method that will be not needed. So by the response download method, it will be now access our upload and about.jpg. Let's check this out. If you now click as a save all, and again I want to run that our terminal. Simply open the terminal. I want to close our previous one. Here I want to create new one that will be as a node and then the index.js. Now click as enter, server running successful. Now if you go to that our home page, that means here in our browser area, now I want to check it because that is one of the get methods. So for the reasons here we can able to check it in our browser. So that will be as a /5. Now I want to go there, and after that I want to make it as a /5. Okay, that will be as a /5. Now click as enter, and you can see our download is successfully completed. So that is the images as a about.jpg. It's now successfully downloaded. Okay. So here how can handle that downloadable resources. I hope it's very clear to you in Express.js. And also if you want to check the same things in our Postman, you can also able to check it. In that case, our route will be as a /5. So here that will be not downloaded. It will be simply display the view for the images. I show you. I make it as a 5 and that is on the get method. Now click as a send and you can see into the body area. Now it is successfully loaded that image. Okay, simply remember all that functionality here. That is the our fundamental series. So in particular that series area, my main vision is to introduce you all that default response, all that default request, everything one by one. I want to cover it. Literally everything will be needed for our advanced project. Okay, I hope it's very clear to you. In our next video, I want to discuss about that response redirect. How can handle it in Express.js. I will show you that things with the live example. So thanks for watching and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I have discussed about how can handle that response download. Now friend, in this video, I want to discuss about another most interactive things, that is the response redirect. That means how can manage your redirect response. Now in this video, I want to show you that things with the live example. So for doing this better, I want to create another 2 of this route. Okay, everything I have actually added in our particular index.js file. So here I want to create the new 2 of this route. Better I copy it. I want to paste it and I want to paste it. Okay, so here I take 2 of this and that is a route URL. I want to make it one as a USA and also I want to create another one that will be like as a India. Okay, India. Great. So now that will be our function here, that is a request and that is a response. And now I want to use one of the another method from to the response. I want to load another method as a redirect method. Okay, so that will be as a redirect. That will be the redirect method. I want to call that redirect method. And here I want to do when that will be executed here, then that will be redirect to our particular this method and that is the URL as a /India. So here if I want to do this work, our main path here I have already loaded that our host will be as a localhost 8000, right? Before I have already created our local server as 8000 port. So now I want to redirect it. So here in particular that position I want to simply add it as a local host and then 800 and our URL will be as a /India. Okay, so that means here when you executed that URL as a USA, that will be simply that is the response, and this response will be redirect to our particular this URL as a localhost 800, that means 8000 and also /India. Okay, and that means it will be load as a /India, and into this /India area I want to load that our one of the text message. Like here I want to make it with the same method. With this same method, before I have already discussed about that things with you, that will be I just make it as a this is India page. Okay, now this type of one of the message that should be displayed. I hope friend the concept is very clear. So simply remember our method name as a from to the response. I simply call one of the method as a redirect method. Now that will be return redirect to our India. That means that is a /India, and here it will be executed our response. And with this response, I call that our send method, and into this send method that will be display our that is the text. Right, now let's check this out. You can also check it in our web, that means in our browser, and also you can able to check it in our Postman. So better I show you. If you now click as a save all, and now I want to access, and also first of all I want to run that our terminal. There is a new terminal here. I want to run as a node and then the index.js. Now click as a enter, server runs successfully. And now I want to access it. Here if you go, now I want to refresh it, and in particular that area, after that / I want to execute that USA. Now click as a enter. Yes, you can see it's now successfully returned redirect to our /India, and that is successfully visible as a this is India page. That means when you executed that our /USA, it's by this redirect method, it will be redirect to our particular particular this URL, and into this URL that will be display our this is India page, and now you can see successfully display as this is India page. If you want to also check it in our Postman, you can also able to check it. So into the Postman I want to check that it will be on the get method, that is a USA. I want to check it like here, I want to make it as a USA, and that is on the get method, and now I want to send it. And yes, you can see it successfully redirected to our India page, and that is the reason. So in our body area now that is display as a this is India page. So how can handle with the redirect function in from to the response? I hope it's very clear to you. So next video I want to discuss about another response functionality as a response header. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In your previous video, I have discussed about how can handle that response redirect. I hope it's very clear to you. Better I want to put some of the note for you. That will be for the response redirect. That will be the response redirect. Now friend, in this video, I want to discuss about another response header. So that will be as a response header. So before, I have already discussed about that things with you, how can get this header. Like if you go to that our Postman, into the Postman here you can see there is a body part. They have also another option for the cookies and also another one as a header. So here now if you want to manipulate some of the data, that means here if you want to add some of the data into this header area, how to manage it by the response. Now I want to show you that things with the live example. So here if you want to add some of the data into this header, there are the two things will be needed. One will be as a key, another will be as a this key related value. Okay, that means here you can actually add some of the key, and you can able to add some of the value. So for now, simply understand how to add some of the data into this header. Laterly that will be also needed when I will execute some of the project. Okay, so here if you want to now add some of the data, and also that is our status code. Now I want to work in our header. So if you go to that our project, better I want to create two of this new route. Okay, here or one route will be enough. Here I want to take another new route, and I just name that route as a, before I have used it as a 5. Now I want to take another one as a 6. Okay, that will be as a 6, and then that will be the function. So a process will be same, that will be pass two of this parameter. One is the request, another is the response. Now I am discussing all the things about that response. So now into the response area, here if you want to add some of the data into this header, we can actually pass this data by from to the response. There is another method. Method name will be as a append method. Okay, that will be as a append method. My main vision for particular this fundamental series is to recognize you all that response method. Friend, that will be very important things. Make that sure you remember all that method name. Okay, so that is our response, and now with this append method, I want to pass two things that will be needed. One is the key, another will be needed as a value. So right now I want to do here simply, I want to first, that is a two parameter. First will be our key name. So right now I name that as a key name, as a name, and also after our second parameter, that will be your value. So right now I name it a value as a Kazi Aryan. Okay, so that will be our first one. So if you also want to add that multiple one, you can also add it. So that will be the same from to the response, and the append, I name it as a city. Okay, I name it as a city, and city name, I name it as a Dhaka. Okay, that will be as a Dhaka. So here you can actually add that multiple data in your header by the response append method. And also at a time, if you want to update that your body text, you can also able to update that body text. If you also want to update that status code, you can also able to update that status code. So in that case, only we have to do after that, and before I have already done this job from to the response, that is our status, right? So that is our status, and now I want to pass some of the status code as a 201, and also you can use it as an AND method. So into this AND method area, into the body, that means in our AND area, whatever the things will be added, that will be displayed in our body. Okay, so into this body, that will be displayed as a response. I name it as a response. Okay, or this is response. Okay, I make it as a this is response header. Okay, that will be this is response header. That is a response header. Okay, PONSE response header. and also that will be the response redirect. Okay, here I simply update. So that is our response header. So now here that will be display two of these things that will be updated in our header, and then in our response status will be updated right now as if 201, and into this AND method I have updated that our body text will be as this is response header. Great. So now let's check this out. If you now click as a save all, and also again I want to run it. Sorry, I want to run that our terminal. We have to now create it. Previous one I want to remove. Now that will be again as a node and index.js. Now click as a enter. Server running successfully. So right now I want to hit our get method as a 6 URL. So now if you go to that our postman, I want to hit it. That will be as a 6, and that is a get method. Now everything will be more clear. Right now if you click as a send, and you can see that is successfully display our body as a this is response head, and our status is updated as a 201. And if you now go to that our header, yes, you can see here I have passed that our name, that is our key name, I name it as a name, and also value I pass it as a Kaziarian. And also I have passed another one as a city, and for the city value I have already assigned as a Dhaka, and now that is successfully visible. Okay friends, so here if you want to insert some of the data in your header, you can add it from to the response append method. So in our next video I will discuss about that response set cookies, how can add some of the cookies in your from to the response. In our next video I will show you that things with the live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I have discussed about how can add some of the response data into the header. I hope it's very clear. Now friend, in this video, I want to discuss about another part. Here, I want to now discuss about how can add, that means set some of the data into the cookies. Okay, so I better I put some of the note for you. That will be as a set cookies. Okay, cookies data. Great. So if you want to add some of the data into these cookies, that means if you go to that our postman, into this postman area, that have also another option for the cookies. Okay, here if you want to add some of the data into this cookies is very important. One of the things how to add it. Now in this video I will show you that things with the live example. For doing this, I want to create another new route that will be just like that same. Here I want to better copy it, and here after that I paste it. Now I want to create another new route. Our route URL will be as a 7. Okay, 7, and then that function, and into the function area here into this cookies area, if you want to pass some of the data, you can actually pass it by the another response method as a cookie method. Okay, that will be as a cookie, and there is a cookie method. Simply call that cookie method, and this cookie method there have also another two of this parameter. First one will be as a key, and second one, there is a second parameter will be as a value. Okay, so here I pass that same name as a Kaziarian. City I pass it as a Dhaka. Here that will be as a cookie, and also if you want to add another one, you can also add it, like I name it as age. Age I name as a, that will be our value. Value will be as a 35. Okay, 35 years old. Now that will be our age. And also here I want to pass some of the body text. Body text will be by the AND method. I want to pass it. That will be displayed in our body as a cookie. Okay, that will be as a cookie set successfully. Now that type of one of the message that should be displayed in our body area. Okay friends, so now by these cookie methods that is transformed to the response. For response they have method as a cookies. They have the two parameter. One is the key, and there is the value. Here I pass three of these as a name, city, and age. Okay, so now I want to check it. You can also check it in our both of these places. You can check it into the browser, and also you can check it in our postman. So right now I want to check it. Click as a save all, and then I want to run the terminal. Terminal will be as a node and index.js. Now click as a enter. Server running successful. So right now if you go to our browser, I want to check it by the 7. Here if you go, I want to check it by the 7. Now click as a enter, and you can see it's now successfully display our body text as a cookie set successfully. That means here I have already named it as a cookie set successfully, and now I want to check all that our cookies data is successfully inserted or not. Like if you want to check it, simply go to your inspect. If you are using that Chrome and then Mozilla, every places you will get this type of the inspect, and from the inspect you have to go to that application, and into this application if you go to that cookies, and here if you go to these cookies, yes, you can see here it's successfully done. That is a age as a 35, that years old. Okay, and there is a name is also inserted as a Kaziarian. If they have any space, automatically it's getting that percentage 20. Okay, but that is our name is successfully inserted, and city I name it as a Dhaka, and that is also successfully inserted in our cookies area. Okay, friend, I hope it's very clear. And now also I want to check it in our Postman. If you go to that Postman, here I want to check it. That will be as a 7 as a get method, right? Here I have already make it as a get method. Now if you go, I want to send this request. Yes, you can see it successfully display as a cookie set successfully. And now you can see they have the 3 cookies. If you go, yes, you can see it successfully inserted the name as a name, and then the value, the name and value and name, and then there is a value. Okay, that is a 35 years old. So how can add some of the cookies? Cookies is very important, one of the part that will be needed multiple time for any type of advanced project. So make that sure you understand it. So there is a cookie, one of the method which comes from to the response. So next video I want to discuss about how can remove these cookies. Okay, so here I have discussed about how can set some of the cookies. Next video I will remove these cookies from our cookie. So how to do this work in our next video, I will show you that things with the live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I have discussed about how can set some of the cookies, right? Here in our browser area, this cookies is saved, and also into the Postman cookies area, or all that cookies is saved. So now friend, if you want to remove it, okay, if you want to remove these cookies, how to do this work? Now in this video, I will show you that things with a live example. The better I want to put some of the note for you that will be right now I discuss about that cookies delete, okay, but that is a response delete cookies. Okay, so if you want to do this work, I want to create the same route. I copy it, I want to create on the new route, and here I want to update that our URL as 8. Okay, so that will be our new URL, and there is a function. And if you want to remove some of the cookies, then there is also another function we have to call it, that will be also comes from to the response as a clear. Okay, so I want to use it as a clear cookie. That will be our another function as a clear cookie. So when you call that our clear cookie, here we have to pass that our name. That means which name you want to remove. That means our main key. Like I want to remove that name. I want to remove that city. Okay, here we don't need to pass any value. Only that name I want to delete. Okay, so there is a name, and also I want to better copy it. I want to take another one that will be, I want to remove it as a city. Okay, right now I only want to remove 2 of this. Right now, that before I have already set it as a 3 as a name, city and age. Now here I want to change to remove 2 of these things from to our cookie by the clear cook method, and there is a name I want to remove and city I want to remove. Okay, and also in our rest end, that will be displayed as a cookie clear successfully. This type of another message, then that will be displayed. I hope friend it's very clear. Okay, now let's check this out. If you click as a save all, I want to run that our terminal as a node and index.js. Now server running successful, and now I want to check it here. If you want to write down as a 8 right now, I want to go there. Before I have already said as a name, as the city and age, right? Now that should be changed. I want to check it. Now click as a 8. Yes, you can see it's now display as a clear, and there is a cookies cleared successfully. And now I want to check it again in our inspect. Go to that our application, and there is a cookies. Yes, you can see they have the 3. Right now there is only display as a 1. That means from here I have already removed 2 of these cookies. One is the name, and also I have removed another one as a city. Okay, so right now that is actually its name and city is removed. And also if you go our postman, here also I want to hit it our 8. So before that is a 3, now that should be as a 1. If you now click as a send, and yes, you can see in our cookies that have only one data as a age. Okay, so it's now successfully delected everything from the cookies. So here also if you want to delete all, in that case only you have to run another one. Better I copy it and here I paste it. I also want to remove that age. Here I simply updated another one as age. So first of all I want to run that 7, then it will be insert all that data into this cookies again. Okay, now I want to close it, and again I want to run the terminal. New terminal, I name it as a node index.js. That is server running successful. And now if you go, first of all I want to set it is a 7, and you can see there is a name, age and city again inserted. So right now I have already updated our another one as 8. Now that should be removed, that our name, city and age. Right here also I want to run that as a 7 again. Now that should be as a 3. Yes, you can see that is successfully inserted as a 3. Now I want to run that as a 8. Like here if you go, I want to again 8 there is a cookies clear successful, and you can see there is a cookies data is successfully clear. And also if you go to that our postman, I want to hit it, yes, cookies data is successfully clear. Okay, so how to clear all the data from to the cookies? I hope friend it's very much clear to you. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In our all previous video, I have discussed about all the default function for the response. Right here, I have already done multiple things like as a response download method, response redirect, response header, how to set some of the cookies, and also how can delete the cookies from to the response. And also into the function, there is another one as a request. Now I want to discuss about that is our request. Okay, so here first of all, I want to discuss about the request, all that method, like that the different type of method as a post method, get method, put method and delete method. So mostly uses that our post method and get method. So now one by one I want to discuss about all that functionality which is related with the get method and post method. Like into the requested get method area here, with this you can create simple get request, simply get request with URL and parameter, how can catch request header with simply get method, and also there is another request for the post. Okay, so into the post area I will discuss about that post related request, post with the URL and parameter, request header, request JSON body, request multi-part form data, and also how can handle that post request file upload. So now everything one by one I will show you with the live example. Then I hope you will get all that basic idea how you can handle Express.js all that request. So if you're ready, then let's get started. Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I have discussed about that all the request method. As I told you, there is a post method, get method, put method, delete method. But that is the most commonly we have used it as a post method and get methods. Now I want to handle all that our request by the get method. Okay, let's do that work. Right now we don't need it. I want to close it. And in our index here, I want to remove everything. Okay, I want to remove everything from here. That is our Express, that is a server is already running, and that is one of the get method. Okay, so before I have discussed about everything with the response. Right here now, if you click as a right now for now, I want to make it as a home. Okay, that will be as a home. If you now click as a save all, now that will be get that our response here. I make that as a and that will be display as a this is simple and string response. Right now I want to run that our terminal as a node. Sorry, that will be as a node and then index.js. Now run it, server running successful. If you now go to that our home, into this home area, if you hit this URL, yeah, you can see it's now successfully display our message. So here friend, right now I want to pass some of the URL query. that means in our URL area, if you want to pass some of the query, that is the query data I want to do. I want to get it from to the URL, and here I want to visible it. Okay, now let's do that work. So as I told you, they have into the function, so that is our app, and that is our get method. Into this get method, that is our home, right? So into the home area, that is one of the function. Here I have to declare one of the callback function, and into this callback function area, they have the two parameter. One is the request parameter, another is the response parameter. So before all that our video, I have already discussed about all that response method. I hope you already get some of the ideas. Now friend, in this video, from to this video, I want to work with our, that is the request. Like here I want to pass some of the URL. So if you want to pass some of the URL with the query, then in that case better I want to take one of the variable, and I just name that variable as a fast name. Just simply understand how much easily we can do this work. Now I want to access that our request. So into the request area, here you can call it as a header, you can call it as a query. So right now I want to call another function as a query function. Okay, so into the query area, I want to get one of the name as a fast name. Whatever the name actually you choose, right now I name that as a fast name. So from to the query, that is our requested query. Okay, so from to the requested query area, I just take one of the name as a fast name. So that is our requested query fast name. I take with this variable as a fast name. And you can also take another one, like here I take another one, I just take another variable name as a last name. Okay, that will be as a last name, and also I name the same name as a last name. So that will be also I want to get it from to the request. So from to the request, I want to access that query, and query will be whatever the name you will be added, that is a last name. So that is a last name, I take that things with this variable. So right now I want to visible both of these. So from to the response, that is our and method. Here I want to display the fast name. Okay, here now I want to change it. We don't need it. I want to display, that is our fast name, and then I want to concrete. So that will be as a plus. Here I want to concrete it. That will be some of the gap, and then I want to add that our last name. Okay, so here now into the response, our view area, that should be display our first name, and then that will be on the space, and then that will be display our last name. So now I want to check it. I want to first of all pass some of the data, first name data into the query. I want to pass some of the last name data into this query. So if you want to check it, like click as a save all, I want to run that our terminal as a node, and then the index.js. Okay, now click as a enter, server running successful. Now I want to check it in our postman. So if you now go to that our postman, that will be our home, right? So into the home, and that will be on the get method. Right, so into this get method area, here now I want to pass some of the query. So here I have already named that our query as a first name and then last name. So if you want to pass some of the query, in that case we have to do, after that will be on the questions mark, and then that will be our name. Our name will be as a first name, and here for the first name I want to pass some of the value, like I pass it as a Kazi. Okay, Kazi and because here there is also another one, I want to make it as a and that will be our another name. I name it as a last name. So now that will be as after that, and that will be as a last name, and last name value I make it as a Aryan. Okay, right now into this area, in our parameter area, that is our first name, and then that will be our value as a Kazi, and that will be our last name, and is equal to that will be our value as Aryan. And that is one of the get method. Right now if you send it, okay, now that will be updated that in our body. Like if you now go to that our send, yes, you can see now that is successfully visible, and into this param area, that means in our parameter area, you can see there is a key and then value, and here into the body, now that is display as a Kazi Aryan. It because of all in our response and method, I display our requested query as a first name, and they have one of the space, and also that is display our last name. And here you can see it's now successfully get both of these our requested data. So that is actually requested data. I pass it through our URL. So now into this URL, that is our value, and that is our last name value, and both of these is now visible in our body. Okay friend, I hope you get some of the idea how can get some of the query from to the request, and that is one of the get method. Here we successfully executed this functionality. So next video I want to discuss about how can working with get request header. So thanks for watching and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, here we successfully get that our requested query data. That means from our URL, I successfully get that query data as a first name and last name, and then we successfully visible it. So how can get that our requested query? I hope it's very clear to you. Now friend, in this video, I want to get some of the requested data from to the header. Now, if you go to that our postman, into the postman area, that is actually our header, right? So from here now, I want to pass some of the value. Right now, they have some of the hidden auto generated. So from to the our header, I pass some of the key. Here I want to pass some of the value, and then I want to get both of these data, and I want to visible it. So how can get it from to our header request? Now I want to show you. So in that case, all that process will be just like that same. Before I get that our requested query, now I want to get it from our header. So I want to update, that will be as a requested header. Okay, that will be the requested header, and from to the requested header, I want to get it. Okay, here that will be the first bracket, and then in our single quote, into the single quote, I want to name that as a first name. Okay, I simply name it as a first name. So that will be our one, and also I want to do the same things. Better I copy it, and here that will be the same process. I paste it. Now I want to take another name as a last name. So what exactly I have done? So from to the header, I want to get that our first name requested data, and from to the header, I want to get another one as a last name requested data. I take both of these things with two of these different variable. One is our first name, another is the last name. And then from our response, that is our end method, here in our body area, I want to visible that our first name and then last name. Okay, now let's check this out. It's very easy. Simply remember all that our function name. Now I click as a save all. I want to run that our new terminal as a node. Okay, node index.js. Now run it. Our server runs successfully. So right now I want to check it in our home. That means I want to check it in our postman. If you go to that our postman, into the postman, that is our authorize, and that is our header. So into the header area, I want to add two of these value. That means key value. First of all, our key will be which one? Here I have already set it, because I want to get that our requested data from to the header, right? So into this header area, now I want to add that our name as a first name. Okay, here I want to add that our key name as a first name, and value I name it as a Raju. Okay, I name it as a Raju, and also I want to take another value. That means another key will be from to the header. I want to assign it, so that will be another one as a last name, and I just name it as a Khan. Okay, Khan. Great. So right now here I get that our key value, and then that is our value. So here I successfully updated both of these. Now I want to hit our home, right? Because of all here I have already updated. That will be executed in our home area. When you execute it, then from to the header, it should be get that our first name, it should be get that our last name. Both of these I take this variable. Now that should be displayed in our view area, right? Like if you now hit it, that is also one of the get type, that means get method. Here I select it. Now click as a send. If you go to that our body, yes, you can see it's now successfully get that our value. So from to the header, I have already assigned that first name and last name as a Raju and Khan. It's now successfully get that our first name from to the header. It successfully get that last name from to the header. So how can actually get it some of the data from to our header request? I hope friend it's very clear to you. So make that sure you remember this part. Okay, that is our requested header. How can get some of the requested data from to the header? I hope it's very clear. So next video I will discuss about that how can deal with simple post request. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I have discussed about how can get that requested header data. So now friend, in this video, I want to discuss about that post method. So before always I have actually used that as a get method. Now I want to change it. Okay, like right now I want to remove everything. That will be the same functionality here. One of the new URL as a app. With this app I want to name that our method will be as a post method. Okay, so into the post method, for that will be hit our home, and that will be another callback function. Into the function area, that will be two of this parameter as a request, and also another will be as a response. So here simply I want to get that our from to the response. Here I want to name our send method, and with this send method area here I want to display some of the message as a this is simple. Okay, simple post request. Okay, so I just simply put this type of one of the text. So here when you use it as a post method, you cannot able to actually execute it in your browser. That means that will be not executed in your browser. Like I show you, we have to actually execute it in our Postman. Okay, like I want to click as a save all. I want to run that our terminal right now as a new terminal, and I just name it as a node index.js. Now run it, server running successfully. So right now, as I told you, that will be not executed in our browser. Here if you want to hit that our home again, like I want to hit that our home, now click as a enter, and you can see it's not handling with the post method. It's now display as a cannot get slash. Okay, so if you want to check that this URL, that means post method, you have to check it into the Postman. So now into the Postman, that is our home URL, right? So into the home URL right now we don't need it. I want to remove both of this from here. Okay, and that is our body. And now I have already assigned that our method will be as a post method. I select it as a post method, and that will be hit our home. So here I have already make it as a post method, and that will be as a home. And now if you click as a send, yes, you can see now that is successfully working. Here I pass it our text is this is simple post request. So if you want to working with the post request, always remember all that our post request related everything we have to actually check it into our Postman. That will be not executed in our browser. So next video I want to discuss about how can handle post request with the URL. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I have discussed about that simple post request, how can get some of the simple post requested data in Postman. I hope it's very clear to you. So now friend, in this video, I want to post that our query data from to the request. That will be just like that same before, which I have already done it with the get method. Now I want to call it in our post method. Like here I want to use the same variable name, then that will be easy for you. I take one of the variable and I just name it as a fast name. Okay, that will be the fast name, and fast name from to the request. Okay, from to the request I want to call that our query, right? I hope you already remembered this part. So that will be as a query, and query I want to name it as a fast name. That will be as a fast name. Okay, same I want to take another variable that will be as a last name. I want to name it as a last name, and from to the request I want to call that our query. Before I have already done this job with using that get method. Now I want to use it as a post. Okay, and also I want to update that our name. So from to the query I want to get that last name. So that will be actually I want to get both of this query from our URL, and then that will be display the data as a fast name. I want to display the fast name. I want to call that our concat. Okay, here I want to concatenation, so that is our double plus, and here I want to add one of the space. Okay, and after that will be display our last name. So I want to simply get that last name. Great, I hope it's very clear. So I get that our requested query for our first name, last name, and I simply want to display both of these data in by the requested, that is a response send method that will be displayed in our body. Right, so before I have already done the same things with using the get. So before we get that data, now I want to post this data. So here if I want to display it, like I want to click as a save all, and now I want to go to the terminal. I want to open on the new terminal that will be as a node index.js. Now run it, the server runs successfully. So right now, if you want to check it, that will be in our home area. Our process also will be just like that same. Before I use it as a get method, now here I want to pass it. So there is a questions mark, and after that questions mark, our name, our requested that query name, I have already named it as a first name. So that will be as a first name value, I name it as a John. Okay, I name it as a John right now, and I make it as and that will be our another one name, I name it as a last name. From to the query, I want to get this data. That means I want to add this data, so that will be as a last name. So last name, which data I want to add? Now I want to name it as a John Khan. Okay, that will be the Khan, John Khan. So now this type of two of this data I want to add. One will be as a John, another will be as a Khan. So both of these data now that should be stored. That by the post method here I want to check it, so that will be display which data that will be stored. Then that will be display in here. Okay, now if you want to check it here, I want to make it as a post method right now. And now if you click as a send, yes, you can see it will be actually stored this data as a John Khan. Okay, so here it successfully stored this data. I hope it's very much clear to you. So from here you can also, there is a URL, from to the URL you can also add some of the data by the post method, and here I have already get both of these our query data from by the requested query function. Okay, so in our next video I want to discuss about how can handle the post request with header property. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In this video, I want to discuss about how can handle that request with header property, which is very important. One of the things, so I have already discussed about that things with you before. Friend, I have actually created all that video in very short way. My main focus is just simply understand and remember all that functionality. So friend, when we will create that very advanced level project, into the advanced level project, I don't want to actually describe all that very common functionality. So that is the reasons here I simply created all that separated step by step, all that functions of Express.js. Okay, so now friend, in this video I want to deal with the requested with header property. So that will be just like that same. Here I want to make it as a post method, and then that will be as for the home, and there is a function request and response. I take one of the variable, better I want to use that another variable as user name. Okay, I name one of the variable as a username, and also another one I want to take it as a password. Okay, I take two of this, and now from to the request I want to call that our header. So that will be as a header. When you call that as a header, here we have to call it like that way. So that is another method. Here we have to call it. So now from to the header I want to take it our name. I name it as a username. Okay, and also from to the request header I want to take another value. So that will be another one as a password. Okay, I name that same name as a password. So it should be get that our requested data, that is our from header. I want to get it as a username, and also I added another one as a password. So now I want to visible it, and that will be display. Like here I want to change a little bit. I want to display, that will be display our user, and then the name. Okay, username, and username will be which one? Username will be our, that is the username. Here we have to concrete it. So better I want to better remove it. Okay, I want to remove it, other than you may get a little bit confused. I want to concatenation, that means that will be the concrete with the plus, and here I want to display that username. Okay, and also after that I want to take our another one I name it as a password. Okay, and for the password that will be display another concrete as a password. That will be our display our password. Okay friend, I hope it's very much clear to you. So that will be get all that requested header data by the name as a username, and also I get it with the password, and I take both of this variable now in our return view page. Okay, into the response view page area, that will be display our username. Our username will be display whatever the data value that will be get from to the header, it will be get that username. Whatever the value it will be get from to the password, that will be display our password. Okay, now let's check this out. Now if you click at the save all, and now I want to run that our terminal, as a node, that will be as a node, and then the index.js. Now click as a enter, server run successfully. So right now I want to add that is a post method in our home. I want to go to that our postman. So if you go to that our postman, I want to now hit our home, right? So that will be our home, and for the home that will be as a post method. And now in our header, right, so into this header area we have to now add that value. So our value will be appropriate. The value I have already assigned it in here. I have already assigned it. Our header value that will be our key will be as a username. I want to update that our username I name it as a like as a Aryan, okay. And then also I want to add our another value, header value, that should be as a password. So make that sure that will be actually appropriate, okay, because that is our main key. And password value I want to make it as a Udemy, okay, Udemy 1 2 3 4 5. Now this type of one of the password I want to use. Okay, so right now I want to hit it. I want to hit that our post method that is in our home, because that is one of the post method. I want to hit it now from to the header value that should be as a posted, and then that will be displayed in our view. Okay, now let's check this out. I want to go there. Okay, I want to go to that our post method that is our home. Now I want to click as a send. Yes, you can see it's now successfully get that our username I already name it as a Aryan, and also after that have on the password, and password I have already used it as a Udemy 1 2 3 4 5. So friend, it's looked like very easy thing, but as I told you, just simply understand all that fundamental things for the Express.js. So that is the reasons I simply created some of the separated video for you, which will help you to understand all that functionality, all that basic functionality. Just make that sure, keep it in your mind. Okay. So next video I want to discuss about how can handle that post application JSON data. So thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I have discussed about how can get that requested header data and how can post it. I hope it's very clear to you. So now friend, in this video, I want to discuss about how can post some of the application JSON data. So here, if you want to add some of the application JSON data, like if you go to your postman, and into the postman here, you can see there is also another option as a body. So from to the body here, if you want to actually add some of the JSON data, in that case, we have to install one of the package in Express.js. They have also another package. Like also you will learn how to add some of the package in Express.js. If you go to that Google and if you search with the body parser, okay, that is a body parser npm. So here if you search it, then you will get that body parser from to the npm.js. Here you will actually get these things. Here if you go to their official site, so that is our npm.com packages and body parser. Okay, and also that is updated now last 9 months ago. Here if you want to install that package, then we will be able to actually get this data from to the body. I show you. First of all, now I want to install that package. So here if you want to install it, that is also another command line as the npm install body parser. Better I copy it, and now I want to go to that our project. In our Express.js project, here I want to run that our terminal, and into this terminal, that is our project here area, I want to add it as a npm install body parser. Now if you click as enter, that will be downloaded everything from to the internet. It's a very light one of the package. You can see it's successfully now installed. So after install, here you have to add that our body parser. You can see that is actually var as a body parser that will be required from to the body parser. So I have already installed it. Now that should be executable. So here I want to simply copy it, and now I want to add it in our index. Okay, right now I want to close it, and now into this index area I want to simply add it. So that will be as a var as a body parser that will be required from to the body parser. So make that sure you load it. Okay, and then before I have already created our app, and now also I want from to the app I want to use that our body parser. So that will be as a body, and you can see that is also suggested as a body parser, and body parser JSON I want to use. So that will be the JSON method I want to call that our JSON method. Okay, here I simply call it. Great. Now that is our function here. Right now I want to better remove everything. So that is on the post function, that is for the home. Our function, callback function, everything will be just like that same. That will be our request and response. Okay, so here I want to take one of the variable with the late. I just name it as a JSON. Okay, JSON and data. So this type of the variable I want to take, and here I want to get it from to the request. From to the request I want to get that request as a body. Okay, here I want to get this body, and then I want to do, that is how I take another variable as a JSON string. That means JSON data. Now I want to convert it to the string value. Before I have already done this type of on the job, so I take another variable as a JSON string. Okay, so that will be as a string. Okay, I name it as another variable as a JSON string, and here whatever the JSON data I have actually get it, I want to convert it to the string value. So that will be as a JSON, and that is our JSON area. Here now I want to call that our stringify. So that is our stringify method. So now here I want to do whatever the requested body we will get. Okay, what is the requested body data I will get? I take the things with this variable. So that is the data I want to do and to convert it to the string. Okay, here I simply update, and then also I want to visible it. So that will be as a response with the send method. I want to simply display our, that is the string value data. Okay, that means I want to first of all get all that data from to the body, and then that is the data I want to convert it to the string value, and that is the string value I want to visible it in our body area, right? I hope everything is very clear to you, friend. Now let's check this out. If you now click as a save all, and now I want to run that our terminal. There is a new terminal here. I name it as a node and then index.js. Now our server running successfully. Now if you go to that our postman, into the postman we have to go to that our body, and from to the body they have also different type of option. Laterly I will also discuss about the data. There is a form data, that will be another www form, URL encoded, the raw and binary. So now I want to add some of the data. So here you have to select it as a raw, and here there is a different type of things like the text data, JavaScript data, JSON data. So I want to select it as a JSON data, because as I told you, here I will actually add some of the JSON data into this body area, and then in our body, that means in our view area, I want to visible it. Which things I want to visible it? Our string value, right? So right now I want to add it. So here if you want to go in particular that position, I want to simply add it. Like I want to add one of the name. Okay, I just name I name it as a easy learning. Okay, here that will be on the string. I want to use on the JSON data as a easy learning. Okay, that will be easy learning, and also I want to add another value. Okay, here after that, if you want to also add another value, you can also able to add it. Like I just name it as a city, and city will be which one? Here also I want to update, that is another JSON data. I make it as a USA. Okay, here I simply update it. So here from to this position I pass that our JSON data. So now if you hit that our URL, and that will be on the post method, right? Here I have already make it as a post. Now if you click as a send, yes, you can see it's now successfully display our both of these data in string value. Okay, in our body area, now that is visible. I hope, friend, you get the point. Simply remember, I know you don't actually react everything with the real life project, but that is very important. Okay, so always make that sure if all that is structure, that means fundamental structure is very high. When your fundamental structure will be solid, then you will get some of the confidence to develop any kinds of the project. Okay, so don't worry, just trust me and learn all the basic raw things. So here that is simple process. When I hit it, I get that things from to the requested body, and you can see that is actually our JSON data. Here I have already assigned it. I have already assigned it as a JSON format data. So that is actually our JSON format code. So that is the JSON data. Here I simply get it, and I take the things with this variable. Then I simply there is a JSON data I take, and then simply with the JSON, with the stringify method, I call that our JSON data and I convert it to the string. And then in here, I display our string value data. And that is the reason here into the body, you can see it's display our string value data. Okay friend, so in our next video I want to discuss about another most important things that how can working with multi-part form data in Express.js. So thanks for watching and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I have discussed about how can manage that post application JSON data. I hope it's very clear to you. Now friend, in this video, I want to discuss about one of the most important things that how can working with the multi-part form data in Express.js. So multi-part, that is very important. One of the things for the form, when you submit some of the form data from to the front end to the back end, then that is the multi-part form data that will be needed. Okay, so here I want to for now test it with our postman. So if you go to that our postman, when that is actually our client side, right? That means in our front end side. So from to the client side, I want to do and to submit all the data in our back end. So here if you go to that postman and you can see into this into this body area, there is also another part as a form data. Before I have already passed it some of the JSON data from here. Now I want to execute it that is the form data. So if you want to execute this form data, here also we have to install another package. Better I want to install this package as a Malter package. If you go to that Google and here if you search with the Malter, okay, if you search with the Malter and Malter for the Express, okay, here I want to simply search it, and that is our Malter npm. I want to open it. That is very popular one of the package. Here you can see there is a Malter. So our first job is here we have to install it. Okay, here we have to install that npm install and save Malter. First of all here, and here you can see when you submitted any form, that is our NC type multi-part form data that will be needed. Okay, so that is very common. One of the things here we have to actually add that ANC type multi-part form data. So right now I want to handle this multi-part form data. So I want to handle it with that is the package as a Malter package. So our first job is we have to install it. Better I copy it. Now I want to install it in our system. If you go, I want to run that our new terminal. So that is our terminal, and here I want to install it. That is a npm install save and Malter. If you now click as enter, now that should be downloaded. Yes, you can see it's now successfully updated. That means it's successfully installed in our system. And if you now go to that our package JSON, into the package JSON, now you can see before I have already installed that a body parser, and also now I have installed another one as a Malter. Okay, so here we successfully get it. Right now, if you want to access it, we have to do right now our body parser that will be not needed, but I want to remove it. I want to remove everything. I want to make it as a clean right now. Okay, that is totally clean. So I want to now work with the Malter. So here I want to do, if you go to that their npm site, here also they have some of the things. You can see that is actually a Malter form to the required that will be counts form to the Malter. So I have already installed it. Now that should be work. Now better I copy it, and now after that, okay, here after that I want to simply add it. So that is actually a Malter. I take on the constant variable as a Malter, and here by the required function I simply get that our Malter, which I have already installed. Okay, here we successfully get it, and now I want to create one of the new instance. Okay, here if you want to create one of the new instance, I take one of the variable. Okay, I take on the variable as a var, and var I want to make it as a Malter. So that will be as a Malter, and I want to get it from to the our Malter. So that is actually a Malter. I want to create another new instance. Okay, here I simply create another new instance, and also that is our var card. So that will be as a var, right? So that is a var card, that is a Malter. Here I simply create another new instance. Great. So also now we have to do with this Malter. Okay, with this Malter I want to access that array. So that will be in our application area, that will be as a app, and into this app area I want to call that our one of the use function, and into this use function area that will be as a Malter, and with this Malter I want to access that array. Okay, here we have to actually pass that our array, and also we have to use another. So I want to add it as an app use, and that will be in our Express. Okay, that will be in our Express, and then I want to take one of the static value. I name it as a static, and static I want to make it as a public. Okay, that will be as a public. So that will be a public. Okay, here you have to actually add it. So right now for education purpose I am just checking that things with the postman. Laterly when I will work into the project, then we will actually create this type of one of the form. Okay, this type of one of the form we will create. So because I told you that right now that is our basic all that fundamental series I want to cover, in particular this section. Laterly we will create very advanced level project. Okay, simply understand how that multi-part form data actually work in Express.js. So here I simply take one of the static public functions. So that is here I simply loaded that our public. Great. Now in our post method, so into this post method, that is our request, I want to get that all the JSON data. So I take that as a let, I name it as a JSON. Okay, JSON data. So that will be the JSON data, and from to the request, okay, from to the request I want to get that body. So from body I want to get it, and then from to the our response I want to also display it in our string value. So if you want to display some of the string value, that will be as a JSON, right? I hope you already remember this part. Then that will be the string file. String file I want to convert it to the our JSON data to the our string file value. Okay, here I simply loaded. Great. So friend, that's all you have to do. Okay, and that's all you have to do. Now let's check this out, it's working or not. Click as a save all. I want to run that our terminal. I want to open the terminal, and that will be as a node and index.js. Sorry, here I have some of the issues. There is a node index.js. You can see it's getting on the error as a var malter. It's actually getting this error. Here I want to better take it not that constant. I want to also take it as a var. Okay, so that will be as a var. I want to check it again, and now that will be click as a save all. Okay, I make it as a save all, and here after that I want to name it as a node. Sorry, here I want to change it. That will be as a node and index.js. Now click as a enter. Yes, you can see that it will be actually not that constant. I have copied, so that will be I take one of the variable as a varchar, that is a var, and then malter, that will be required from to the malter. So right now our server runs successfully. Now if you want to check it successfully access that our body data or not. So from to the requested body I get that JSON data, and then I want to display it in our body area. That means in our view area I want to visible it. That is our JSON data. I want to make it as a string file, and that is our JSON data. Right, now let's check this out. I want to go to that our postman, into the postman, and here as I told you before, I have already done that our raw, right? So that is actually on the JSON data. Now I want to work in our form data. So into the form data I want to pass on the name. I name it as a Aryan, and then I want to take another value as a age I make it as a 30, and also I want to take another one as a city I want to make it as a USA. Okay, so right now let's check this out. It's successfully getting all that our data or not, and that will be our post method. Here if you go, that will be as a post method for the home, right? So now that should be also work. Let's check this out. If you now go, if you hit that our URL, okay, there is a home and post method. Now I want to hit it. Yes, you can see it's now successfully post all the data, and here into the body now it's successfully visible that name as a Aryan, age as a 30, city as a USA. Okay, that here it successfully get our form data all that value, and here that is our JSON all the data, and now it's converted to the our string file, that means string value. Here I simply convert it by this function as a string file function, and here I display all that our JSON data. So next video I want to discuss about another most important part as a file upload. Okay, how can manage your file upload in Express.js. I will show you that things with the live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I have discussed about how can working with the NC type multi-part form data. So NC type multi-part form data, that's actually used for when you upload some of the file. Right, so that is the reasons here. Now I want to discuss about that things with you, how can manage that file upload. So our NC type multi-part form data is executed. Now we can able to add also some of the images. Now let's do that work. For doing this right now, I want to remove everything here that will be not needed. Only that is our malter will be needed, because I want to access that with this malter. I want to actually add all that functionality, but right now I want to also remove it. So that will be as a express. There is a post method. Here also we have to do multiple work. Now one by one I want to complete it. Okay, so that is our Express app is running. So now after that, first of all, we have to create one of the storage. So I want to create one of the storage. I take one of the variable as a var and I just name it as a storage. Okay, storage. That will be the storage. I want to take it now from to the our malter. Okay, from to the malter I want to call another default function as a disk. Okay, that will be the disk storage. Okay, so disk storage area, here I want to create one of the callback function. So that is our callback function. So here that will be actually two parameter. First parameter, that will be as a destination. Okay, that will be as a destination, and into the destination area here I want to pass another function. Okay, that will be as a function. So into this function area, that will be as a three parameter. One will be as a request parameter, another will be as a file parameter, and also another will be as a callback. Okay, so that will be as a callback. So I simply call that as a callback function. So into this callback function area here, I want to take another callback. So that will be as a callback, and into this callback area, first parameter I want to make it as a null. Okay, and here in our second parameter area, where exactly you want to upload that images. So I want to upload that image before I have already created one of the folder as a uploads. Here I want to upload it. So that will be our dot, and then I want to access that folder name as a uploads folder. Okay friend, I hope it's very much clear to you. So now clear to you, and now also again we have to create another function. Okay, here after that I want to pass another file name our method. So I want to call that our file name. That means whatever the image you want to upload, by the which name you want to insert that things in your upload folder, here we have to also assign. Okay, so now with this file name method I want to call another function. So that will be actually just like that same function. We can also copy it. Better I copy that our total function, and here I want to paste it. So that will be our function. Here request will be needed, file will be needed, callback will be needed, and with this callback, first of all, that will be as a null. And in our second parameter area here, now we have to pass our another function that will be our file. So that is actually our file. So whatever the file I want to upload, I want to get that our file original name. Okay, original. You can see that is a original name. So that is also everything actually comes from to our malter. So here I simply add the destination where this image will be uploaded, and in particular that area with our file name method. Here I have created another function, and into this function area here I simply pass it our file original name. That means whatever the images you will be uploaded, it will be automatically get that our file name. Like if you want to upload some of the file name as ABC, automatically that will be uploaded in our upload folder as abc.jpg or png, whatever the extension. Okay friend, I hope the concept is very much clear to you. Great. So that will be our first job, and now we have to storage this data. So after that, better I take one of the variable as a var, and I just name it as a upload. Okay, upload will be from to the malter, and from to the malter in our first parameter area here I want to pass it as a storage. So that will be our storage, and storage will be which one? Storage will be, that is the storage I have already created. So that will be our storage. Okay, here I simply pass that our storage. Great. Now after that, here we have to also allocate that another function as a single function. That is another method. So into this, by this method I want to pass that our file name. So I name it as a my file. Okay, I name it as a my file, this type of one of the name. Great. So here I simply uploaded that storage area with this malter, and that is our variable name as upload. Now we have to work in our method. So that is actually our post method. When it should be as a post method, our URL will be for the home, and that is a function. Everything will be just like that same. Here now I want to do with this upload. Okay, with this upload I want to simply pass that will be in our upload method. That will be passed two of these things. One will be as a request, another will be as a response. Okay, I want to pass request and response. Then I want to call another function. So that will be as a function, and if there have any error, I want to get this error. Okay, here I simply added this error, Perfect. I want to call another callback function. Okay, into this callback function area here, I want to put one of the if else condition. So that will be the if else condition. Okay, so into this if else condition area, if there have any error, then that will be show some of the message. Okay, that means here I'm with this response, with the send, I want to display one of what of the name you want to display. Like I want to make it as a file upload fail. Okay, then that will be displayed as a file upload failed, and else rather than that will be displayed file uploaded successful, but that means that will be a file upload success. Okay, great. So friend, that's all we have to do. Great. Now I want to check it. Now click as a save all. Okay, I want to save all. I want to run that our terminal running. I want to make it as a node index.js. Now click as a save. Is in, that means enter. Now our server runs successfully. Now I want to check it. Now we are able to upload that any images in our folder or not. I want to upload it from our postman. So into the postman here. So in our, that is in our form data, right? Here already our form data is selected, and here I name that our file key name. Here I name that will be as a my file. I want to update it. So that will be as a my file, and here in particular that area, that will be not as a text, that will be as a file. Okay, here I simply select it as a file. Now from to this file, I want to select one of the image, like from to my desktop, I want to select some of the image for education purpose. I want to use my image. Okay, that is ren.jpg. I want to select that image, and also they have some of the name. Now let's check this out, it's successfully added or not. And also in our header, okay, if you go to that our header area, that means that is actually our header. Here our multi-part, so that is actually our content type. Now that should be updated. I show you, like right now I select it as a my file, and here I updated as ren.jpg, and that is also selected as a form data. Now if you hit this our URL, now if you go to that our body, yes, you can see it's now successfully displayed as a file upload success. That means here I have already put this condition, right? Here I have already put this condition. If there have any error, then that should be displayed as a file uploaded fail, and else that should be displayed as a file upload success. Right, now everything should be clear, and you can see in our upload folder, now that is a new image is successfully added as a ren.jpg. So that is the image I have actually uploaded, right? So here, that is the reasons I simply pass it. That will be an uploaded image in our uploaded folder. So that is our uploads folder, and also it should be uploaded by the original name, and that is our image original name as a file ren.jpg, and that is our original name. And now it successfully stores all the data. Okay, here successfully stores this data. That means image is inserted successfully. And again, if you go to that our postman, into the postman area, if you now go to that our header, and into this header area, that is our content type. Here if you go, that is our header. I want to open it. Okay, I want to open it, and you can see into this header area, that is our content type. Right here, not this part here, that will be in our header position, and into this header position, that is our content type. It's now become updated, and now you can see it's now displayed as a multi-part form data. That means when that will be as a multi-part form data, then you can able to insert any type of images, right? So our image is successfully stored, and that is file uploaded successful, and in our backend, in our upload folder, that is a ren is successfully uploaded. Okay friend, I hope you get some of the idea how you can able to add some of the images from to the Express.js. So thanks for watching. I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I have discussed about how can upload some of the images from to the Express.js. I hope it's very clear to you. Now friend, in this video, I want to discuss about that middleware. So what exactly that middleware? In short, if you distinguish this name as a middle plus and then where. Middle means that will be into the center position, and wire means that will be as a wireness. That means when you send some of the requests to the response into the center position, middleware will be executed. It will ensure your all that securities, all that validation, authorization, okay, everything, whatever the rules and resolution you will apply it, that will be executed to get that response. So middleware actually is very important. One of the things here with this, you can validate all that your request, you can check that authentication, authorization, all that verification, request limit. That means if you want to put some of the request like that, it will be as a 1000, after that 1000 or 100 requests, this will be not executed. So if you also want to put some of the request limit, you can also able to add that request limit with using that middleware. Also it uses other security measures. So I hope you get some of the idea what is middleware and why that is important. So, and also if you want to use that middleware, you can use it in two different ways. One, that will be as a application level, another will be as a route level. Application level is for if you want to set some of the middleware for your total application. That means when your application will be executed, for our all request and response, this middleware will be executed. So that is called that application level. And also another one as a route level. So if you want to add some of the specific middleware for a specific some of the route, then that is called that route level middleware. That means you can put a specific some of the middleware for a specific some of the URL. So don't worry, both of these I will show you everything with the live example. So in our next video, I will discuss about how can create some of the middleware for the application level. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I have discussed about what is middleware and where you should use it. And also they have the two different way you can use that middleware. One is the application middleware, another is the route middleware. So now I want to discuss about how I can create some of the application middleware. So if you want to create this application middleware right now in our project, I want to better make it as a clean. Okay, I want to clean everything. There is a post method. Here also I want to make it as a clean. Okay, here we don't need anything. I simply clean it, and also there is a malter will be not needed. Here I close it. Great. So I want to create some of the app. Okay, that means our route will be needed. So I take one of the route as a .get type. Okay, I make it as a get method, and here I want to create that our URL for the home. Okay, here I want to use it as a home, and home will be which one? That will be our function, right? Here I want to use it as a function, and our function area I want to create on the callback. So here I simply created our callback function. So to this function, that will be two parameter. One is the request, right? So that will be the request parameter, and also another will be as a response. I hope you already remembered this part. And here I want to pass with this response with the send method. I want to show some of the message like as a, this is home page. Okay, this is home page. So that will be display this type of one of the message. Okay friend, I hope it's very clear because I have already done this type of one of the multiple time. And also I want to create another new route. Okay, I want to create another new route that will be for the about. Okay, that will be as about. It should be display as a, this is about page. And also I want to create another new one that will be for the contact, and that will be display as a, this is contact page. Great. So here I successfully created 3 of this route, and now if you hit that our home, now that should be display as a, this is home page. Okay, now if you click as a save all, and now if you go to that our terminal, here I want to open the new terminal, and in here I want to name it as a node index.js. Now click as enter, server run successful. If you now go to that our project, now if you go to that our home, you can see successfully display as a, this is home page. So as I told you friend, application middleware will be which one? Okay, application middleware will be that will be applicable in your total application. Okay, that means if you want to apply some of the middleware, that will be executed for our all route. Okay, they have the different type of route right now. It will be executable for our all route. That means in our total application area, that will be executed. So if you want to create some of the middleware, simply that is in the fundamental series, I am just want to share that things with you, how middleware actually you can use. Okay, so if you want to use some of the middleware, in that case, we have to use that our application. And from to the application, I want to call another new method that will be as use method. Okay, so into this use method area here, we have to create one of the callback function. I want to call that function, and that is our function. I simply call it. Okay, so into this function area here also we have to pass it on the request, and we have to pass that our response, and also that will be our another parameter that will be as a next parameter. Okay, why I'm actually using that next? Next means if you go, so how a middleware actually work? So that is our request. When you pass some of the request to the response, so first of all, that is in our middle position area, that middleware will be executed. Okay, that means here if you go, that is our first of all, that will be a request will be sent, and then it will be go to that middleware. So into this middleware area, it will be check it if there have any rules or resolutions or not. That will be set some of the rules and resolution, and then it will be pass it to the response area, and then from to the response it will be simply get all that our rules and resolution, whatever the things you have set it, then it will be get that response, and it will be get it to again to the request. Okay, so that's how actually middleware work. I hope it's very clear. I want to recap it again. So when you send some of the request to the response into the middle side, that is one of the guard. Okay, so that is actually executed in here. So from here, when you send some of the request, first of all, it will be go to that middleware will be check if there have any rules or resolutions or not. If there have any authorization or validation, it will be check it, then it will be send this data to the response, and from to the response it will be again send this data to the request. So that's how the middleware actually works. So that is the reason she's call it as a middleware. Okay, I hope you get some of the point. Now I want to do, that is the reasons it's actually working with the one of the next functions, that is our next. Okay, so there is a request and then response, and that is our next. Okay, so after that here I want to call it as a console log. Okay, into the console log area I want to now show it. For education purpose, I want to display it like here. I name it as a I am from middleware validation TI1 validation. So that will be display this type of one of the message as a I am from middleware and validation. And when you call this function, also now we have to call that our next method. So that will be one of the method as a next. I want to simply call it. Okay, here only we have to now call it. That means that is one of the middleware I have created. So if you want to create some of the middleware, that will be as the application, then use function, that is our function, and into this function area here we have to pass that our request and response, and that will be the next. Okay, so next is for why, I hope you understand. So after that request, that will be our next part, then that will be go to that our response. So here that is also another one as a next. So into the console log area I have displayed some of the message, and then I call that our next function. That means right now that is one of the application middleware. Now if you access that our home, if you access that our about, if you access that our contact, every time that is the middleware will be executed. Okay, like show you, if you click as a save all, I want to open the terminal, our previous one, I want to better remove it. Okay, remove it, and now I want to run it again. That will be as a node and then index.js. Now click as enter, and you can see there is a server is now running. So right now if you hit that our first URL, okay, so that is actually our first URL as a home. I want to hit it. Now click as enter, and you can see it successfully displayed this page. And now if you go to that our terminal, yes, you can see that is our middleware is heated. The now that is display I am from middleware validation. And if you also want to access that our about again, now I want to access it, that will be the /about, and you can see it successfully display as this is about page, and again our middleware should be executed. You can see that is again is executed. If you access that our another one as a contact, I want to make it as a contact. This is contact page, and middleware should be again applicable. Okay, that means executed. I hope, friend, you get some of the points. So that's how you can actually create some of the application middleware. And also there is another one as a how you can create some of the specific for this route. That means when you executed this route, only this middleware will be executed. So that is called that route middleware. So how can working with the route middleware? In our next video, I will show you that things with a live example. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hello friend, welcome back. In our previous video, I have discussed about that application middleware. So now in this video, I want to discuss about that route middleware. Before, when I create this type of one of the application middleware, so that is actually executable for our all route. When you hit that our home, then our middleware is executed. When you hit that our about, then also that middleware is executed. Right now, friend, in this video, I want to discuss about the route middleware. That means this, I want to create another new middleware, and this middleware will be only executable when some of the specific route will be executed. Okay, but I show you. In that case, I want to remove it. Okay, I want to remove it, or rather than you can also take it. That will be just like that same, but I cut it from here, and after before that our about, I want to now create another new one. So here that will be the same our app uses, and now before I use it as a total function, right? So now I only want to add another route. That will be this one. Okay, here that will be executed for our about. Here I only want to use it. That means middleware will be created by the use function, then that will be executed for the /about function will be the same, the request, and then that will be get that our response, and then that will be get that next. Okay, and into the console log area, it will be display it I am from about. Okay, I make it as a about. That will be as a about validation. That means when you executed only this our about page, then that is the middleware that I have created, that will be executed. Okay, now let's check this out. Is successfully working or not? It's very simple things. Just get some idea how you can call some of the middleware. Literally, I will use multiple middleware for validation, authorization. Everything will be needed. We can manage everything by this middleware. Okay. Now that is our name. I want to run that our terminal. Okay, here I want to run it. That will be the node and then index.js. Now click as a enter. Server is now running. So if you now go to that our home, okay, here if you go to that as a home, I want to go click as a enter, and you can see now that is display as a this is home page. And now if you go to that our console, here you can see middleware is not executed. And also if you go to that our contact page, here I want to also access it. That will be as a /contact. Now click as a enter, and this is contact page is successfully loaded. And here you can see middleware is not executed. It because of all here I only apply this middleware for the about. Now I want to access that our about, and when this about route will be executed, then our middleware that I have created for the about, now that should be executed into the console log area. That should be displayed as a I am from about validation. Okay, now I want to check it. If you go here, I want to name it as a about. Now click as a enter, and now you can see our page is successfully loaded as a this is about page. And now if you go to that our console, yes, you can see now our middleware that I have created as a I am from about validation, and that is successfully executed. So how can create some of the route middleware? I hope you get some of the point. So friend, I will recommend it to you complete the total step-by-step fundamental series if you don't have much idea about that Express.js. In particular, this section I have actually elaborated everything in short video. Simply remember all that functionality. Trust me, everything will be needed for our advanced project. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next video.